Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we cover something a little more controversial, as I am rating the frames from the star chart. Remember to leave your in-game name in the comments to join the clan I'm in, Aurora, Invictus, and Warframe, as we are always looking for more people. Now before we begin, I have a few things I would like to clarify, and a disclaimer you could say. Number 1, these are opinions. Believe it or not, if I ranked your favorite frame somewhere that you don't agree with, I would be happy to hear your cracked builds in the comments. Number 2, we will only be covering frames that have parts obtainable through boss fights in the star chart. This does not include the quest in the star chart like Haro and things like that. And 3, the final thing is just a big massive thank you to everyone who has subbed and watched my previous videos. The last one especially has done way better than I expected, and it's just amazing to see. Okay, let's make some people mad. We start with number 16, Frost. Okay. Don't get me wrong, Frost isn't bad, he's just severely outclassed. The only thing you would use him for is defense with his snow globe, and there are plenty of other defense frames that do just as good of a job and have other things going for them. If you want Frost, Lieutenant Krill and Vor on Exta node on series, drop him. Number 15, Hydroid. I see this guy as just a slightly better Frost, as he is also pretty much only used for defense, with the one added bonus of the looting that he can do with his augment, and for that reason he makes spot 15 on my list. If you want him for some reason, kill Vahek on Oro on the Earth. Number 14, Atlas. Now Atlas isn't bad by any means. As you can tell from these being the bottom frames, no frame is bad in this game, except Ureli. Atlas has a good ability and his punch, and it is good enough that it can one-shot up to Steel Path, but other than the punch, he doesn't really have a lot going for him. His rumblers are okay for CC, but they aren't that great to be honest, coupled with the fact that he is in a later game node being Jordis Golem on Eris. By the time in the game that you will probably have better frames, and you won't really need but to level him from fodder. Like, he's just not going to be that useful for you by the time you get there, although he is pretty fun if you're punching with him. Number 13, Excalibur. Okay, hear me out. I know everyone loves this guy and he's the poster boy for Warframe, but I'm sorry, he's just really not that great. Radial Blind can be useful and his blade is fun, but I would just never use this guy in Steel Path because from what I've experienced, he just doesn't have the utility and survivability other frames have. If you think I'm way off here, I would be happy if someone would tell me how to make him not only good, but fun to play. I also think he's boring, by the way. If you're wondering how to get him, it's Lieutenant Lech Krill on Mars. Number 12, Equinox. I know, I don't have a lot of experience with her, and that's why she may be a little lower than you'd expect. She does have a lot of different uses, but in almost all of them, she just barely hits the average mark. And added to this, she's incredibly annoying to obtain, as you have to collect all of her day and night form parts from Tal Rygor on Uranus. 11, Nekros. Nekros is very good at one thing, and that thing is farming resources with Desecrate. Most people would only use him for this, but he does get a slight bump in my list because I can personally attest to his usability as a tank with the right augments, and can be super fun in Steel Path as that tank. You can get him from the boss on Deimos. Number 10, Nova. Nova lands around where I would say the list hits neutral territory. She can be very useful being able to slow down or speed up enemies, but she isn't amazing by any means, but definitely worth giving her a try. You get her from the Raptor boss on Europa. Number 9, Ember. Another frame on my list I would say is pretty neutral power-wise. She is a frame I have seen so many different opinions on, ranging from trash to the best. But I can say for me she's very fun to play, but she has an energy problem when trying to get the maximum entertainment out of her. I would definitely recommend messing around with this frame, and you can get her parts from Sargus Ruck on Saturn. Number 8, Loki. Okay, not a lot to say here. He's good, and what he does, he's one of the best in fact, and that's stealth and invisibility. The only thing holding him back from the top 5 is the lack of fun or damaging abilities. This results in a very repetitive but powerful playstyle of invis, number 4 to make him not be able to shoot, invis, number 4 to not be able to make him shoot. It's the same thing over and over. 7, Valkyr. Her 1 is trash, but the rest of her abilities are very useful. Her 2 gives a damage buff, and her 3 stuns people around you. This results in very good CC, and added with her 4, which is the claws you pull out, you start shredding. Valkyr can be a beast in most stages of the game, and I just love running around hacking and slashing. You can get her parts from Alad V on Jupiter. Number 6, Mag. might be slightly biased here, alright? I'll be honest, because Mag was my favorite of the 3 starters. But I also have a good reason. Her 2, the Big Suck, is incredibly useful for CC and damage, and her 3 is a crazy huge radius armor and shield strip, which gives her shields back. This results in all 3 of the things you need: damage, CC, and sustain. For that reason, I think Mag has rightfully earned her place at number 6. You can obtain Mag through the Sergeant on Phobos. Number 5. We're in the top 5 now, ladies and gents. Rhino. This is definitive F the enemies, I will never die. Rhino is very easily obtained very early in the game, and his roar paired with his iron skin just gives this frame the ability to absolutely tear through enemies without giving a single shit. He will survive, and if you're dying on Rhino, I have some news. You're just bad, my dude, I'm sorry. You can obtain him from Jackal on Venus. Number 4, Trinity. This frame is an incredible support frame. She can give energy and heals and is just an absolute legend at making her team their pinnacle. I would say she is the best support in the game, but you'll see why that statement would be wrong when we get up a little higher. Alright, here we are, the top 3. If you've made it this far, it would be awesome if you would leave a like or maybe even sub. Okay, here we go. My definitive top 3 star chart frames in the game. Please don't strangle me if your frame was already on the list and you think they're number 1. Remember, opinions here, not facts. Number 3, Mesa. The cowboy frame. This absolute creatine imbued cowboy lady just shreds in everything she does. With her 4 as well as her 2 being a gun jammer, her 4 gives her auto aim, so she's just a blast to play. Useful for so many things, she just can't be stopped. If you don't have Mesa, start crafting some invested Alad V coordinates, because that's how you get this beast, sadly. It's a little tough, but it's totally worth it. Number 2, Sarin, the corrosive queen. With the right build, you can almost AFK as you watch your poison murk enemies through the walls and melt armor off of anything it touches. Paired with her 4, she can pretty much insta-kill enemies even in Steel Path, and is one of the best nuke frames in the star chart. You can get this maitre d' of mass destruction from Kella to Thame on Sedna. Here we are, the number 1 spot, boys. I think you could all see this coming. Wisp. Wisp is just insane at every single thing she does. She supports with ease, gives her whole team crazy damage scaling, health boost, movement speed, and electricity, well, that can give her team a free AoE to hit everything trying to attack them. All of these different buffs can combo together to just make this straight flower monster, and your whole team can just truck through any activity in the game. Your team will always win if there's a Wisp. It's just a fact. Alright, well that's the list, ladies and gents. I hope you all enjoyed, and I can't wait to see your pretty mugs in the next video, and in the clan. Have a great night, and enjoy your hacking and slashing.